Is 5G finally taking hold in Korea? That and more on Korea Technology Weekly. Hi, I'm your host, Dr. J.R. Reagan. In this episode, we'll be discussing the state of 5G in South Korea and its potential for the future. South Korea ended 2020 with 11.85 million 5G subscribers, citing data from the Ministry of Science and ICT. In December 2020, Korean operators added approximately 900,000 5G subscribers. The country's current 5G base accounted for 16.8% of the total 70.5 million mobile network subscriptions in the country at end of December. The country's three operators launched 5G technology in April 2019, and 5G networks are available in most large cities. The country's migration to the 5G network is expected to accelerate further with the launches of Samsung's new flagship Galaxy S21 models and cheaper data plans for mobile carriers sold through online retail channels. However, a high number of mobile users in Korea have at times complained about the quality of 5G services. Users say that 5G services offered by the country's three major carriers have poor quality, slow connections, and lack applications that use the new technology. A recent ministry report found that the country's 5G networks had an average 5G download speed reaching 690.47 megabits per second, just over 4 times faster than the current 4G LTE speeds. South Korean telecom operators currently support non-standalone 5G, which uses previous 4G LTE networks. Local mobile carriers SK Telecom, KT Corporation, and LGU Plus are currently preparing to commercialize new technology, such as standalone versions of the 5G networks and millimeter wave 5G. The millimeter wave or mmWave 5G service will initially be available for the business-to-business segment. Operators have not yet finalized investment plans for the business-to-consumer sector, as the cost of building additional infrastructure still represents a major issue. In July of 2020, Korean mobile operators SK Telecom, KT, and LGU Plus agreed to invest a total of 25.7 trillion Korean won, which is about 22 billion US dollars through 2022, to boost 5G infrastructure across the country. This investment primarily focuses on enhancing 5G quality in the capital city of Seoul and 6 other major metropolitan cities. The investment plan also stipulates the deployment of 5G in 2,000 multi-purpose facilities on Seoul Metro Lines 2 and 9 and along major highways. In 2021, the carriers committed to expand 5G connectivity to an additional 85 districts, including 4,000 multi-purpose facilities, including subways, all train stations, and an additional 20 highways. To help fund 5G infrastructure investments, the government has granted the carriers tax support in the form of tax credits and other reductions specifically for telecom companies. The redirected funds are expected to be used to expand the current 14.3% nationwide 5G coverage to 70% by 2025. South Korea will increase the coverage of the next-gen 5G mobile networks from the current 7 major cities in South Korea to over 85 cities across the country this year. The investment plan also includes expanding support for local firms to transition to ultra-fast 5G networks, including investments in research and development of mobile edge computing, a key component in driving the commercial use of 5G in areas such as virtual reality. A budget of 165.5 billion Korean won has been set aside this year to help a wide range of sectors to utilize the benefits of the new network technology, including some 88 billion Korean won on future mobility, 40 billion won on augmented and virtual reality-based entertainment content, and 16 billion won for smart city projects. The plans also allow non-telecommunications firms to operate private networks for their own businesses as well. The government will start providing network bandwidth to non-telecommunications firms in the first half of this year, allowing them to operate their own private networks. It will provide 600 megahertz of 5G bandwidth also. According to the government's survey, around 20 private software development and IT firms have expressed hopes to build their own 5G networks. Previously, only mobile carriers were able to customize and operate networks in South Korea. To encourage use of private 5G networks, the government will invest 127.9 billion Korean won this year. Public sectors such as harbor facilities and the defense sector will be the first to use private 5G networks and customized solutions. There are other examples of 5G supporting various verticals as well, including SK Telecom partnership with Samsung Heavy Industries to build a 5G-based autonomous navigation system to allow ships to move to a set destination on their own. And KT claims 150 business-to-business use cases with 53 business agreements secured by the end of 2019. The South Korean government support to provide tax incentives to domestic operators if they expand nationwide 5G coverage to 70% by 2025 has been a big contributor to rollouts and uptake. CapEx increased significantly from less than 3 billion Korean won from 2015 through 2018 to more than 4.8 billion Korean won in 2019, with a further 4 billion expected by 2020. But the big benefit of 5G are the use cases that it enables. South Korea's mobile carrier LG U+ partnered with the southern city of Jeonju to demonstrate an air monitoring system using autonomous robots and air quality measuring equipment inside an industrial complex that's about 50 years old. Information collected during the demonstration will be later used for city management. Currently, human inspectors using vans loaded with measuring equipment patrol in industrial complexes in many areas to monitor air quality and the emission of pollution. Drones are sometimes used to check the quality of air. However, such a method takes time as inspectors cannot cover many areas to get real-time information. The system, based on 5G, consists of a control tower, 6 autonomous robots, and 20 air monitoring stations. With various sensors, robots will be freely able to roam to check air quality in real time. They can also detect abnormal phenomena such as fire or smoke to prevent disasters. Collecting air quality information will also be used to create big data for the improvement of the quality of life. SK Telecom also announced its new service, the launch of SKT 5GX Edge, the first 5G Edge cloud service in South Korea, in collaboration with Amazon Web Services, or AWS. The company said SKT 5GX Edge enables its customers to build mobile applications that require ultra-low latency. With SKT 5GX Edge, applications are connected to AWS wavelength zones, which are located at the edge of SKT's 5G network. The Edge Cloud service with AWS wavelength will enable SKT's enterprise customers and developers to build innovative services in areas including machine learning, Internet of Things or IoT, video games, and streaming using the familiar AWS services. The South Korean government's Ministry of Science and ICT predicts that in 2020, more than 45% of Korea's mobile users will have access to a 5G network, with 90% coverage by 2026. This will ultimately lead to an increase in the monthly data usage per consumer, as well as high demand for high-resolution videos and gaming content. Many telecommunications industry experts say that 5G will play a crucial role in helping the Korean economy recover from the coronavirus outbreak. 5G in South Korea will take time to adopt. In order for 5G to take off in South Korea, it will need to be used with other emerging technologies such as big data, IoT, cloud, and AI. 5G will play a vital role when it comes to fast data transmission. Developing these emerging technologies together will lead to a powerful ecosystem in South Korea. Once the ecosystem is built, innovation can take place in regards to other new industries, including biotech, fintech, and others. This will pave the way for new innovative startups that can push the boundaries. 5G technology is widely expected to be the network infrastructure behind the fourth industrial revolution, eventually connecting data processors to thousands of factories, millions of sensors, and billions of client devices. South Korea is poised to offer a blueprint that could help other countries as 5G continues to take hold. That's all for this week's show. Follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn at Idea Explorer or my website ideaexplorer.com. Feel free to leave comments or suggestions about the show and tune in next week for more news and trends about Korea technology.